Visual calculations in Power BI make previously difficult DAX formulas super simple. It's one of the new features Microsoft rolled out in their February 2024 update, and everyone's losing their minds over it. Let's check it out. All right, so what makes this cool? What makes this cool is instead of jumping around trying to get DAX to work with specifics of your visual, you can get right to the point and calculate metrics that are now more straightforward and easier to understand versus plain old DAX. To use visual calculations, you're going to have to first turn the feature on. So go over to Options and Settings, go to Preview Features, then click on Visual Calculations, and it will ask you probably to restart. Now we go in and you will see this new button called New Calculation. And out of the box, they have some awesome calculations you can add. They actually have a running sum function in here that works so easily, so simply, and without all the hoops you used to have to go through just to get this silly little measure. So here's an example of what you used to have to write in order to get the same exact thing.
Brother,
Once you create a calc, you can also change it afterwards. Just go to your calculation over here, click on the dropdown, and click on Edit the Calculation. You also don't have to display the columns your calculation is based on, but they do have to remain within the visual. So, within the calculation panel, you'll see this little hide option pop up on the value fields. Just click the little eye and it will hide the column, and the calc still functions just fine. You'll notice that now outside of the calculation panel, it looks like the field isn't even there, but it is in the background. You can find it again by going back into the calculation panel and find it is still hidden. Now let's unhide it and show you what happens if we actually remove the column. As you can see, the column needs to remain in the background of the visual or your calculations will break. We also have this really cool moving average function. Here, you will select the field you want calculated, and then you will also select the window size. Window size just means the spread of rows, which it will use to calculate the moving average. If I set it to 1, then it's just going to display the number itself because it is only looking at that row to calculate an average. If I move it up to 2, then it will take the current row and the row immediately prior to calculate the average. You can adjust this for your use case. For example, you could set it to 6 and name it a 6-month moving average. Yet another simplified DAX function that makes life so much easier when this used to be so complicated to write. But it doesn't just stop there. You've got percent of parent, percent of grand total, average of children, and versus previous, next, first, or last. Amazing. And something I'm not seeing as many people mention, and it's actually really important to know, is you're not limited to the functions you see in the options here. You can build out your own custom visual calculation, making this feature even more powerful. Just for comparison, you can do this same thing in DAX by wrapping the date field in something like selected value, but this is not nearly as intuitive, and it's harder for those newer to Power BI. Showing again how the visual calculation feature is a huge win for Microsoft and Power BI users. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe.